We're recording now. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. It's been a long time. What, a few weeks, hasn't it?
It's been like a month. It might have been over a month.
I don't know that long, but it's been a minute. Yeah.
I mean, I could look it up.
No, we don't have to go. We don't have to discuss who's right about it.
Well, it's been because it's been busy.
It's been incredibly busy. Cincinnati for ACDA. What else? Then West Virginia All State.
Mm-hmm.
And where are we now? Remote.
Yes, we're recording not in Orlando. We are in Los Angeles, California.
Yes. For the Grammy Museum.
Gets Fest, Music and Education.
Yeah, absolutely. Say it again because I just messed it up. What is it?
Gets Fest.
What does that mean?
Grammy in the schools.
Yes.
Listen, you just quizzed me and I passed.
I mean, for real. I mean, that's what happened.
So Jeff was on a panel yesterday for Gets Fest with all of the Grammy Music Educator winners.
It's the 10-year anniversary of it.
Right.
So the previous 10 minus 1. Sorry, Mickey couldn't be here. Smith couldn't be here, one of the Grammy winners, so we definitely missed him. So 9 of the 10 winners were here together, and it was like incredible.
Yeah, it was a great panel. And then there was like a thing, a soiree, if you will.
That's what you call
afterwards.
It. Yeah.
I just did. That's what I'm gonna. I forget the word, but we're calling it soiree.
Okay. And so that was cool.
Very.
Just to meet meeting the people behind the Grammy Museum, and Gets Fest, and what do they do to make this this whole thing come alive. It's incredible what Grammy in the schools do for our students and for advocacy of music education. Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, as one who's not in the music education genre,
Mm-hmm.
like Beyond You,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like that's my only tie-in. Which is funny, you know, fun fact, every time, and I think that your career path is probably more this way than others, but every time somebody meets me, it's like, oh, nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. Are you also a music educator? That's the second question.
Yes, and you proudly say no.
No.
And
I'm not saying no. I don't proudly say no. It's not that I think that there's something wrong with being a music educator.
Not in a bad way.
But
it's like, this is not my world, but I'm proud to be a part of it. You know?
Yeah, like I'm here, but no, I would not be a good teacher. I don't like children.
Yes, you do, and I think you.
No, I love children
Mm-hmm.
that are well behaved, or that their parents love me enough to be able to tell their kid, "You're acting a fool. Stop it." All of those are fine.
Okay.
Like, I love little fresh babies. I'd like to eat them when they fresh ones, when they just little babies and just came out. Which, by the way, I'm a new great aunt, and her name is Parker.
Aww.
And she's so precious. Anyway, like, see, I love babies.
Yep. Now back to the schedule program.
What I was saying, I had to throw out Parker now. So that was a big deal. Like, Parker, I'm saying, was a big deal.
Right.
Also, the Grammys was a big deal.
Yes.
But no, I like kids. I just don't want to teach them.
That's fine. That's not
Because let one sass me, I'd be in prison.
Oh, gracious. Now, back to what we were talking about. You know, being a part of that panel and hearing these brilliant minds talk about their passion and music education and how it relates to even just real life stuff, they inspired me more than I could even put into words. I was sitting there like a kid, you know, in a candy store listening to years of experience. Mm-hmm. And how they related their passion. Each of us have a different story why we come to the point to where we come to, but we all come to the same point from a different direction. That's powerful. Mm-hmm. Tell some of the things that you heard, that quotes that jumped out at you from some of the Grammy winners, since you was in the audience and you were able to hear that. Or those who are online and listening. Oh my goodness, thank you. How many they said it was?
I don't even remember. I don't want to quote it because I don't want it to be wrong.
Gotcha.
But a big amount.
I heard over 40 something thousand.
I don't know.
Yeah. Incredible.
Huge number though.
Yeah.
But let's see. One of them. Listen, you gotta give me a second.
Okay.
Because I don't know which one I want to say first. I'm gonna have to say that probably my first one. That, your job is, well, all y'all's jobs, like all teachers. Your job, you have a different job. It might be the same subject, but it's a different job each year. Like I deal with mostly the same people every day, all day. You don't. Each year it changes.
Correct.
I mean, every 3 months it changes, really.
Correct.
But one of the things, and I thought, because I've seen you have your feelings hurt by students.
Right.
Because we're all human. And as I just said previously, kids can be mean.
Correct.
But one of them said, you have to understand that with these kids, he said, it was Kent, I believe, is who said that. And he was the first Grammy Music Educator winner. And he said, you have to remember that these kids are growing. And keep a list or keep a box of like the sweet notes that your kids give you over years and stuff and pull them out in February.
Yes.
And it was funny that he said February because February was rough for you.
Yep.
And I guess it is for everybody. So music educators, we love you guys. And other teachers, if you're struggling there, we love you too. Not just because you're not music. If you teach science, we love you too. But he said, remember that these kids are growing and changing and they're not who they are yet. Almost like they kind of don't know what they're doing. They say mean things or they might act a certain way and they're just changing through their life and that's not who they'll end up being. So you can't take it personally.
And that's hard to do. And when he said that, I thought, because when he's talking about kids, he's talking about students. Students does not necessarily have an age.
Right.
It could be elementary, middle school, high school, college, or advanced degree. It's the same thing. You just hope that eventually they get it. And sometimes they don't always get it during your time period. But you have to not take things so personal. And you have to kind of because your feelings can get hurt. Especially when you're trying to do the best you can. So personally for me, that hit home for me. So thank you, the first Grammy Award winner.
Yes.
Kent, that really hit home. I sat there and when he said that, I just started thinking,
So you can see you think.
Yeah, I said, okay. Because,
And I never thought about it that way. Like, I mean, as parents, right? So for those of us that are parents, like, Jesus knows that there is nobody that can hurt your feelings like your own children. But do we not still love them? And do we not often know that at times they don't know what they're saying?
Yeah, and the second thing that was the second one that was so powerful, basically was when you and I talked about. You had said something about it. Was about that mental health one.
Yeah,
that second one, and that partnered with what Kent said. What was the other one?
Take care of yourself. Self-care. You got to take care of yourself.
Self-care.
And what does that look like for you? Is it going to the gym? Is it going to the movies? Is it going on vacation? Take vacation. You have vacation time. Take vacation. Don't work yourself to death. Like, spend time with your person.
Yeah.
It was sweet, and I won't say the name. I'll say it privately, but I won't publicly. Okay. We knew somebody to where we all know somebody. One of the Grammy Award winners mutually knows a person that we know. And Jeff and him literally had a conversation rejoicing for the fact that this person has found love and is taking vacations and time for themselves.
Yep. Absolutely.
And to see two people, he ain't even around. Like, he didn't know that they were talking about how happy they were for him. Which you need to tell him that.
Yeah, well.
Because you would want to know that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a beautiful thing to see two grown men celebrating a third grown man not even there, just like he is doing something for him, and that is so great.
And it's encouraging because it's like when you are a young teacher or a teacher that's so used to working hard, sometimes time can pass you by. My mom said something to me a long time ago, and it hit home yesterday. She said, we were just talking about life and relationships and so on and so forth, and she was talking about always find happiness, because one of the things that if she can look back on her life, she said, Jeff, I made a decision to give myself to my children. Made you guys number one priority. Made and sometimes you sacrifice your own personal life. But what she didn't realize, she said, at the end of the day, though, you guys graduate, you guys move on. You guys have your own families. You guys, do your own thing. Then what is there left for me? So that hit home. From the stand, she's not coming from a place of regret, because she said, these are the decisions that I've made. Her thing is, but do you want to make the same decision?
Right.
So in other words, do you want to work so hard and so that you don't have those special times where you can go on a vacation with that special someone, or do something, or because your kids grow forward? In other words, your students are going to graduate. Your students are going to graduate, and they're going to have their lives, and they may think about you, and they may not. They may not have any idea of the sacrifices that you made for them. They may celebrate you. They may attack you. They may this, they may that. But at the end of the day, your mental health is so important that you have to sometimes step back and think about yourself. Mm-hmm. And that statement, what my mom made, partnering with the statement that one of our grandma members talked about mental health and looking after yourself, because our students graduate.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get it and sometimes they don't. Or I should say, get it in the time frame that you want them to get it in.
Right. But, well, even you said you plant the seed, you might not ever see it bloom.
Our job is to plant the seed. We may not ever see it bloom. And there may be some thorns that come up. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, remember, there should be a rose at the end of it, hopefully.
Well, and I'll say this too, speaking of the mental health part of what y'all do, especially the ones who do it to the level that you do it, mm-hmm. right? You travel mm-hmm. a lot. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm on this traveling whirlwind, I love it. Mm-hmm. I love doing it with you.
Right.
Like, listen, Cincinnati's not my city.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been there.
Right.
Good job. No offense to anyone in Cincinnati. It just wasn't my jam. Mm-hmm. It's really cold. And the Bengals are there. I'm a Ravens fan,
Right, I get it.
It wasn't my place. But I loved going and I loved seeing it. Even if I didn't love it to where I'm like, ooh, I want to take a vacation to Cincinnati. I can't imagine, though, doing it, going and doing it alone. Mm-hmm. And that part makes me sad for you, knowing all the times you did.
Yeah.
And being here, like, we did fun stuff. We'll talk about that later. But we were here. We did what you came for and did all of that. But then we also took all the extra time to do the extra fun things.
Correct.
And I can't imagine not having someone. I guess what I'm saying is this. I could see how it could be release once every 3 months. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm going to go do my work, go back to the room, relax, nobody bothering me. But at times I would think it would have to get really lonely.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And unless you do it, and sometimes you don't understand, it could be very lonely. It could be, now keep in mind, it all could be, okay, I need to get out, I need to get away. Mm-hmm. You have that, well, mm-hmm. Because when you go back to home, to your city, the same situation, you still got to return that email. You still got to deal with this situation and that. So the situation's still there. It just gives you a different perspective. But when you have always dreamt of traveling the world and not experiencing it on your own, you have no idea the burden of the pain it can be to be alone in those moments, because you don't want to be.
Yeah.
You don't want to be, because people get to know you oftentimes through the eyes of others. in terms of you saw things when we travel, in terms of talking to the other Grammy winners and how we responded to each other. That you may not see that in Orlando because you're home. You know what I'm saying? And you may, like I said, you can speak to that. I can't speak to that. But you also see the weight that's on your shoulders, the platform. That you ask for the platform, but there's also some weight that comes along with it. You know, and in terms of wanting to be the best you can for everybody that you stand in front of.
Well,
but also understand that you're imperfect also.
Well, I'll say this. So this is the thing I said. You might end up making me back this up and delete it out. We'll see. I hope not, because it's recorded on my phone.
Oh, Lord.
But no, something that I will say, it's nice to see that the world sees what I see. Because, let's put it this way, sometimes Orlando don't, because they're used to you. And does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like,
it does.
I think that, you know, I forget who it was. I think it was John Travolta's kids did an interview one time. I can't remember what his kid's name is. But anyway, they were talking. He took him. No, it was Adam Sandler. It was Adam Sandler. And he took his kids to like one of his movies when they were little. And they were like, look, that's Dad. And they're like, what are you doing? They almost were offended because that's their dad. Like, they don't think what he does is cool because they're in it all day, every day. They're not like, oh, Adam Sandler. They're like, oh, that's Dad. You know what I mean? Dad gets on their nerves. They'll get in Dad's face and scream because they're kids. You know what I mean? Like, they will, you know, like his mom, that's still her son. Like, it's not nothing.
Right.
Because you know the person. And I think that happens. There's people who have just, you've been around and available. The way I heard you speak on that panel, if y'all haven't seen it, it's going to be somewhere. We'll try to find it. Because they said it is going to be on the site to where people can download it and look at it. And I'll find it and I'll share the link somewhere. I'll do that on the plane.
Yeah.
Remind me. But I'll put it in like our link tree to where you really need to listen at it. First of all, like, it doesn't matter if you're a music educator or not. There was things I got from that as a body shop girl, you know, like, that I needed to hear. But what I also needed to hear was you speak and not be speaking to the local people, groups, like I normally hear you speak.
Right.
You almost seemed more relaxed.
I am. I'm way more relaxed because I feel like I can be me.
But you don't feel like you can be me there?
Not all the time.
Oh, we're going into a therapy session.
No.
Mayday.
Oh, no, not all the time. No, not all the time. When people think they know you, I have no idea. Or have opinions about you that are so wrong. You constantly have your... I've gotten a lot better, but you constantly have your guard up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you, instead of being who you are, you're being what people think that you are or should be. Which is a hard life to live. And that's one reason why I enjoy travel so much. Because I can be me. I can be me. And on that stage, I was me. I just spoke from my heart. And not being misunderstood, not being misconstrued, not being, well, I really think he's saying that you see me for who I am.
That you were so relaxed. And also, it was nice to see you with like-minded folks as yourself. And one thing that I almost said their name, one of the Grammy winners said, which I won't say anybody's name because I don't know if they mean it in privacy or not. But I thought that this was something. They said that all that they had done since they'd been here, and they came to this alone. But they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
I almost keep trying to use a pronoun. I'm trying not to.
Mm-hmm.
They said that that they chose to come to this,
Mm-hmm.
but seeing you and I together, they wish that they had had their person come.
Oh, yeah.
But they also had so much work to do that they needed to use the time to focus because there was no pets, no children, nothing to pull them when they are here.
Yeah.
And they said, a lot of times teachers don't understand how I'm so behind and I'm always playing catch up. And they said, but I also travel, 8 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a family. I also have pets.
Mm-hmm.
I also have, church responsibilities. And then I have this other, there's so much that they don't know. They think you just go to work and home.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking that's true. That's when they said something, and I hope not change the subject because I'm not trying to, but it hit my head. That's when they said something about, because people don't know, and if you work at, it's not so much teaching the students, it's more so teaching the administration what you need.
Yes. So
that's along the line, and I thought that hit me.
I believe his name's Jeremy.
Okay, you're teaching the students, but you're also teaching the administration of, this is what I need to be successful. Because oftentimes when you work it doesn't matter where you work, they have their rules, they have their way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where you are, but then sometimes you have to teach those folks, yes, that works, but I need help this way, like this, to make this successful. And I thought that was powerful.
It was, because in the context that they were talking in, because you've got an understanding.
Yes.
Because you were there.
Uh-huh.
To give the context of what they were talking about, he was saying that if you had a successful, say, K through 5 program, and you're going into high school that's mediocre.
Yeah.
And I don't know what would make a mediocre high school program, but whatever it is. Or you had whichever, going from one to another. If you're going from a high school to a community choir or a church, if you've worked and built a successful program before, and you go to one that's like meh, you have to teach the culture to the students. You have to teach the culture to the coworkers that you work with. Then you also have to teach the administration, and then you also have to teach the community surrounding it.
Yep.
And people get discouraged and get disheartened because they go from one to another, and then they're like, this sucks. Like, what is happening? And you just remember how you have to teach it, and it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's not.
And I was like,
And you can transfer that to jobs that have nothing to do with music.
Correct. And when you've done something successful before, to teach it and how to... I mean, that literally can apply to any facet of your life as to how... Like, even with, like, kids and parenting and, I would say that one thing that you and I have done well as a team and dating is that we both know many ways that we have succeeded in relationships, failed in relationships, succeeded as parents, and failed as parents.
Right.
And we literally talk about those things to teach the other one, well, this worked and this didn't, and this worked and this didn't. And this was good for me and this was bad for me. And had communication and taught each other things that we have learned through life.
Yeah. And and the thing about it is, because oftentimes people focus on the action. This happened. We try to make a concentrated effort to focus on the why. What is your why? Why did this happen? Because if this happened, it just didn't happen overnight.
Right.
Why? What was going on before then? Because if you can fix your why and really look at your why, not because if you can't fix your why, you'll repeat the same situation over and over again. It's really get to your why You know, and then from the why, grow from the why. The other stuff is sort of dissipate, you know. And that's something that you and I have really talked a lot about. And I actually, in therapy, when I'm in therapy, we go to why all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why did this happen? Well, why? And the one thing that I learned is this. When you don't know your why, this is what you open yourself up to. You open your, when we're talking about actions, it's a couple things that you open yourself up to when you don't fix your why. One, you open yourself up to the mistakes that you do make. Mm-hmm. But you also open yourself up to someone's interpretation. Mm-hmm. You also open yourself up to someone's lies. You open yourself up to someone's bandwagon jumping. You open yourself up to so many things if you don't know your why. Mm-hmm. But the minute you learn your why, you get to close all of that off and then heal. Mm-hmm. Because if not, there are certain... So it ain't just why I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, okay, you made this mistake. And when you open that mistake, you open up yourself for this lie, that truth, own your truth. Don't throw your truth out the way because you got to heal. Mm-hmm. This is a mistake I made. But then you open yourself up to, they said this, that's a lie. They said this is this. You only, this person don't want to. Then you open yourself up to different people's perceptions who don't know what they're talking about. But then years later, some folks sit there and say, "Oh, that wasn't."
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's recidivism.
It's
rate.
Crazy.
If you think of recidivism in the terms of like criminal justice and the criminal society, right? Because I mean, it's basically the same thing, but really kind of dumbing it down.
Yeah.
If there's like premeditated murder.
Yeah.
Right? First degree, second degree. Mm-hmm. If, by definition, if you were kidnapped, kept in a cage, and you planned, and you shot someone, and killed them, first degree, it's premeditated murder. You thought about it, you planned it, and you killed them.
Okay.
Why did you do it? Because you were trapped in a cage.
Okay.
And had been abused. That's why. You know what I mean? You were trying to get out because you were... What I'm saying is that it's a whole different story than this person shot somebody in the back of the head.
Right.
Why? Mm-hmm. Because they had been kidnapped and... all of a sudden, it's not... You would never give them the death penalty for first-degree murder, right? You would congratulate them and throw them a parade when you understand their why. Like, yeah, you should have killed them and got out. Good for you for being brave. You know, that goes with, I think, anything. You look at somebody who is an alcoholic. People love to judge an alcoholic, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you see somebody that's an alcoholic. Do you think anybody ever woke up and said, hey, I want to be an alcoholic, I want to be a crackhead, I want to be a prostitute, this is what I want to do? Mm-hmm, no. Mm-hmm. No one has that as their dream. Why do they do it? Pain. Something happened.
Yeah.
And when you understand it, if you can empathize. We've all had pain. We might not have had the pain of these other people, and we've all experienced things. But what happens, I think, a lot of times when you have something like that, you're ashamed of anything that you're not in control of.
And that's true. And the issue is in control. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. You can't control it. You got to let it go.
Well, and if you love somebody who's living with shame, and they're struggling with something like that, hug them. If you're ashamed and you put a lot on shame, it's gone.
All right, Brene Brown.
I mean, listen, I hold on to my things. But I mean, I'm serious though. Yeah. Like, there's been things that like I have done in my life that I'm not proud of. And then you get your friends around you. And they're like, listen, we've all done stupid stuff. I did this. I've done this. And you hug and you cry and you heal from it. And you don't do the same dumb stuff again.
Right.
And you move on.
You move on. Exactly. But it goes back to folks can't move on if they don't understand their why.
Right.
And that's
because then you'll do it again and again.
That's the main thing. It's like, no, own your why. Don't pass the buck. Own your mistakes.
Yeah.
Absolutely own your mistakes and the consequences that come along with your mistakes. Own it, grab it, But the unsaid consequences are what we talked about earlier. The things that you cannot control the lie. You can't control the black ball. You can't control none of those stuff. But you still gotta let it go.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny, yes, and that transfer, yes, and was walking, and I saw homeless people on the ground, lying on the ground, and it was raining, and it was cold. My heart got so sad because I didn't judge them. I said, what is their why? Because that was someone's child. They necessarily were not born that way. Some may have had mental illness along the way, you know, and have been, you know, who knows. But that person was born beautiful, and that person still is beautiful. It's fighting something that I can't relate to.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw him. I mean, I'm sure you did. You walked by him. But he was laying on the ground. He had face tattoos.
And his eyebrows, too.
But you could see he was handsome. Like, underneath the dirt and the tats. I mean, I love tattoos. I'm not a big fan of face tattoos, though. Like, but under all of that, I mean, that could have been Jacoby.
Could have been Jacoby.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just like a...
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand, like, I am not here judging families who let their kids that are living on Skid Row. I don't mean it that way.
Because sometimes you got to let it go.
You can't...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect... But my goodness. It's heartbreaking.
So it's more so... I guess, and it kind of went down this rabbit hole a little bit, is when we're talking about grace. Yes, do you have to protect your own self and your own mental health? Absolutely you do. Do you give grace at the expense of losing who you are? No. You can give grace from a distance also. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to protect your own mental health and do that. But give grace because you never know when you're going to need it. And the people who are always talking junk usually always eventually need the most grace. It's just a matter of when, not if. Life is funny, and life is undefeated. You know, we may not ever hear about it, but you know, so just give grace on that. And when the Grammy guy was talking, when one of the Grammy when they was talking about that, you know, in terms of you may not see the seed, you may not see it now. It goes back to what we talked about. You know. Your feelings may get hurt. Yes, protect yourself. Have, you know, yourself, you know, your own mental health in check. But also, you can, you know, understand may not hit that you may not see it grow. You know, you may not see the fruit of your labor.
Right.
When the other person also said, another Grammy winner said, and when you make a mistake, as we all do, apologize.
Yeah.
You could be in class one day and someone acted up and you fussed. Have I fussed in class? Yes. I fussed at one student and apologized in front of the whole class because my thing was right here. If I'm going to fuss at you in public, I'm going to apologize in public. I'm not going to apologize to you in private because if I did it in public, oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. And I was just trying to do my best because at the same time, they need to see that you're human because one day when they're teaching their class, they gonna lose it too. Sorry, you're going to, and you have to be. So it was so many nuggets of information that we got from this Grammy panel. It was like I was in a master class, and I was in a master class of just brilliant minds, and I was the student, and I just love just taking little nuggets and notes that I can apply personal to my own personal life. But also to my own professional life.
Honey.
Yes.
You were one of the instructors of the master class.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, like literally, you held a microphone.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm just trying to give you a reality check.
Listen, you are one of my biggest cheerleaders. You are my biggest cheerleader. So
I was like, wait, who cheering ahead of me?
My mama. You're not sure.
That's what she say too. She's gonna listen to this and comment and be like, I'm cheering for him more than you.
I had him.
Listen, good. Thank you, Eula. We appreciate it.
Hey, listen,
I appreciate all your work.
I'm trying to save you.
Save my life.
So, who else? My mama. You want to throw some?
Lord, that escalated.
Then my child, Jaleesa. That's my baby. My baby. Yeah. So, but that's my baby. But, it was incredible. But then how we talked about good mental health, because we haven't been here long. I mean, it's really been a quick trip. But the growth that we've had was, okay, what's one fun thing we can do? Because I've been working. Mm-hmm. And we were able to get up early in the morning and go shopping. Mm-hmm. We shop, but then what did we do?
I mean, we didn't really go shopping.
What did we do? I got some outfits. You got some outfits.
I didn't get an outfit. I got a hoodie.
I mean, why are you trying to be so literal? It's shopping.
No, but that wasn't the end. We went. Well, that might have been your intention. We went and I saw
gosh.
the Hollywood. I saw the Hollywood stars. And then we went to the Chinese theater. Mm-hmm. And then they were setting up for the Oscars, which was totally cool. Exciting.
We got some pictures of that. Yeah. It was really cool.
It was really cool. And then we had the worst Uber ride home.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what that man had been smoking in his car. Oh my goodness. The laws in mercy. That was something.
For real. For real.
But that's fine. Then, what did we do last night?
We went to the Lakers game.
Yeah, we did. And who won?
The Lakers.
That's right.
We had Lakers, but we had some Laker jerseys. Well, hoodies. It was cool. And again, that was the main thing we talked about. It's like, work, but then that mental health stuff. Okay, let's go to a Lakers game. So we went to a Lakers game and we watched the game and had hot dogs and basically enjoy a pro basketball experience against the Toronto Raptors. And Lakers won, so I was really excited about that.
But you got to play. Even when you work, you got to play.
And that's one thing that I'm learning because I have not always done it.
Yeah. I've seen it.
I've not always done it. And I don't, personally, that's how I was raised. I work hard. I don't know any other way to work. I don't. I say I'm gonna slow down. I'm saying I don't know any other way to work. But what I'm trying to add to it is more balance, and seeing all the Grammy people. I was more they were talking about what they do, but I was also interested to hear what they do in their leisure time. Mm-hmm. That what was inspiring me, because it was like, yeah, you do that. Oh, I want to do that. You want to do that? Oh, gosh. And it was just beautiful to realize we're all human. We just happen to have this platform.
Well, it's cool to see, though. Even from when I knew you as Dr. Redding, when we wasn't on a first name basis, to now, and including starting dating. Mm-hmm. There has been a big difference in your openness to other people. Maybe that's therapy. Maybe it's me. I
think it's both.
But
it's both.
It's good to see you be a little more human.
Yes.
And
not hide behind my music.
Right. And it's good to see, though, that it's funny. I don't mean to laugh. It's not necessarily funny, ha-ha, but it's kind of funny, ha-ha. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You're still so flippin'. You can get so uncomfortable if you're not talking about music.
Correct.
Somebody can say, sports, you're fantastic about talking about sports and you know everything. Very fun fact about Jeff. He knows everything about sports. The two just don't seem to mesh to me. Oh, can I say the one funny thing?
About the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll tell you who my composer was. Go ahead.
Okay. So we're walking down.
Hold on. We are nothing alike. When I say that we are so different, listen to this story.
We are literally nothing alike.
Not one thing. Mm-hmm.
Well, we both love Jesus.
Yeah, that. Yes.
That's it. Mm-hmm. And our kids. Mm-hmm. And political parties the same.
Yes.
That's about it. Okay.
That's about it.
But so we're walking down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I'm taking pictures. I saw Tennessee Ernie Ford. I like that one because Daddy used to sing to me Tennessee Ernie Ford songs, and then Burl Ives we saw, which made me think of my mom, and I saw Steve Irwin the Crocodile Hunter, which made me think of my sister. So I was taking pictures of these to send to people, right? Oh my gosh, look, it's Mariska Hargitay and her mothers were side by side, and I thought that was so sweet. You know, so like I was looking at them like that. Jeff gets excited over one. And then I'll tell the one I got excited over.
Okay. You tell the one you got. Okay. Go
Well, no, you got to tell yours first.
Okay.
So Jeff, as I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh, look, Mommy like that one. Cassie like that one. There's Mark Wahlberg, you know, like that. Jeff goes, oh, I want to take a picture of this one. And he was helping him point it out. Like, look, there's Burl Ives. Didn't you say something about, like, whatever, like a movie, and Burl Ives was in it, and your mom liked it? And I was like, oh, yeah. So he was kind of calling him out. But he took out his own phone out of his pocket that was underneath his coat. So understand, he had to undo his coat, get his phone out of his pants pocket. It took effort. He didn't say, Christy, take a picture. He wanted it on his own phone. And I was like, who is that? And he goes, oh, an amazing composer. And I thought, you freaking nerd. Mm. And who was it?
It was, for all you choral geek heads, it was Igor Stravinsky. So I said, oh my gosh, Stravinsky. So I took a picture of, Stravinsky, because I've always been a fan. And then she talked about, who was your person?
50 Cent.
But she was talking about.
I saw 50 cents.
She told the star of 50 Cent, go, shorty. It's your birthday. And I'm like, Igor Stravinsky, you 50 Cent. Okay, we have nothing alike.
But I was so excited. And it says, like, I forget what his real name is, but it was like Curtis 50 Cent Johnson.
Oh.
I was so excited. I took a picture of it. I'll post it on my story.
There's nothing I liked.
So excited.
It was and I said, I like 50 Cent, but I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I was totally excited.
It was hilarious.
And then we got tickled because
that's how far opposite we are.
Yeah.
Igor Stravinsky and 50 Cent.
Yes.
but
we do. I mean,
but it works.
We do at the same time. I will go with you to a ball game when I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And have a blast, and then end up screaming at the end.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited.
Well, I appreciate you're being open to try it.
Yeah, I'll do anything.
That's the thing that's big for me. It's like just try it. If you don't like it, okay, I respect it.
If you like it, I'll go though.
But just try it, yeah. Or you don't like it, but Jeff, I just want to come, just kind of be hang with you. That's important to me because you're starting to see a part of my life that I can't articulate. You have to want to experience it. And then when you experience that, you then get to understand me.
Well, and I mean...
You know what I'm saying? From your perspective, because me telling you anything, no. Just come and see it.
Well, I mean, some stuff happened like while we hadn't been podcasting.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But one of the things that we've got a podcast lined up about toxic relationships that it'll marry. These two things will marry in the moment.
Yeah.
But, it blows my mind to think 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I calculated that earlier this morning. Mm-hmm. I was sick. And I kept thinking, like, am I going to live through this? Like, I was seriously sick. Mm-hmm. Like, medically sick.
Yeah.
And I sat there and thought, I just wish that I could find someone that would be nice to me and love me. And would love my kids and not be mean to them. Mm-hmm. And I could see the world and just be happy. Mm-hmm. And here I am.
Yeah.
Don't give up, folks. You never know. I was texting Jacqueline pictures. And she was like, this blows my mind. Like, look how far you've come. Like, seriously, like me, Chrissy.
Yeah.
From...
Well, because she's known you forever.
Yeah, like, she knows how bad it was then. Mm-hmm. And then to see this now. And she was like, you have made my day and it's not even 9 a.m.
Mm. Wake up!
Like, I'm happy, yay. But have faith. Keep going. Plug away. Listen to good music.
But it's more than just have faith. Have courage.
Be proactive.
And the thing about it is, what I mean by have courage, learn people for yourself, not for anyone's opinion of them. Mm-hmm. Have courage. Learn people for you. Mm-hmm. and through your eyes. Because when you try to learn people from other persons through other people's opinions of so quote unquote loyalty, you lose all the time. You lose every time. It's undefeated. And you may not even realize that you lost. That's the sad part about it. So it's everything that Chris has talked about, but also courage to learn for yourself, experience for yourself. You know,
because would you have ever thought that you would have ended up with me?
not 1 second of my life is completely not even in the realm of what I even thought was anything. Tattoos, the whole bit. That ain't me.
But actually, it is.
It is a part of me now. Yeah, but that wasn't my what. Anybody what you talking about? You know. But then I realized it's about you know, as I said, her tattoos. One thing that I didn't say when I started to realize it's about inside out, not outside in. Who are you on the inside? The outside will always fade. I don't care how pretty you are. You being beautiful is a bonus.
Good save.
But
good save.
it's about no, it's not. It's true. No, it's true. It's about the inside, because if it's not even a good save, because you can be so gorgeous on the outside and ugly on the inside, and it won't work. And at the stage of my life that I'm in, I ain't got the patience.
Yeah.
I'm not on Discovery Channel.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's like, you know,
I think,
so it's like, man,
I think too, though,
I just don't, okay.
because you brought up the tattoos.
Yeah.
You were immersed in a culture for a while, I think, that was judgmental towards. There was prejudgment of people with tattoos as a certain type of person, and I think you realize that's not it.
No, it's not. It's not it. No.
That like now you can see the beauty into.
But I saw it from my own eyes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Having the courage to see for yourself.
Yeah.
Not what you was told, not what you was taught, not. It's life. What is this for? Again, the why. Why did I feel this way? Why? And once I started going to therapy and dealing with my own why, I was able to see outside of anyone else's perception, and you know, or somebody, well, he crazy if he feel that way. You don't know me. You don't know me. So, why don't you sit down and talk to me? Yeah. Then get to know me. But so it's very very interesting. So again, once I found out my why I felt the way I felt, why did I see the way I saw things, you know, and then, oh no, that ain't right. And then kind of go on this journey, a journey that I'm still on, a journey that I'm not completed there. I won't be completed until I'm not on this earth. Because if you thought a certain way for most of your life, and you're absolutely trying to figure out what that is, you got to have the courage to go forward. You got to have the courage to be alone. You got to have the courage to stand tall. You got the courage sometimes to get a whole new set of friends for your own self-worth and happiness. Because if you are trying to fight to keep someone around you who don't want to be kept around you, you will always live your life trying to prove to them who you are instead of being who you are.
Yep.
And then you lose who you are, realizing you never found who you are because you're still trying to prove who you are.
I'm glad we recorded that, because you should write that down later.
So just let it go. So that's it from LA. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. We will see you guys soon. Don't forget to go online and rate, review, and whatever you say. Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
And you know, we say that we're going to do better than doing every week. We're going to do them when we can.
What?
No.
We're going to do them a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm saying when we can a lot. But I'm giving us grace.
Yeah.
now that life is busy and sometimes we have to choose to put this down for a minute.
We want to get some merch too. I want some merch.
I know.
Come on, we'll talk about when we get our merch.
We'll talk about it when.
Because this is our marketing person here.
Yeah. So you see how I'm getting all the jobs?
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me clarify this. She won't let nobody do the job. She's talking about getting all the jobs. If Chris don't, she will design the shirt. She will create the stuff. She is a marketing guru. So when she talking about getting all the jobs, let me make a shirt. She'll burn it into a campfire. Y'all should see her face right now.
Whatever.
Facts.
Whatever.
But thank you for your wonderful support.
Was that to them or to me?
No, to them.
Oh, I was like, for my wonderful support.
Oh my God.
What are we talking about?
I was like, what are we talking about?
Like, I'm sitting here. Okay. Well, next time we will see you on Red and Green.
The podcast.
Bye.